Hi friends, I'm here today with an update. We're a month in. A month in from what? Well, a month in from my 100-mile life experiment. Stay tuned, I'll give you some background, and I have my notes here, so I'm going to be looking down a little bit, but let's get into it. I'll tell you what's been going on, what's working and what's not working, what's going to happen moving forward. So here we go. So there were some challenges, obviously, and I could say there were some surprises, but there weren't. There weren't surprises. The things that I really like as far as food goes, I haven't been able to tweak enough for me. So I'm still enjoying coffee that we had in the house. So I haven't had to purchase some locally roasted coffee, but that's part of the plan for sure. The other thing was chocolate. So I thought I would get really smart and get some, not some Lindt, Ferrero Rocher. Because I know there's a Ferrero Rocher factory down the highway, just the other side of Brantford. But Ferrero Rocher is not necessarily 100-mile when I'm buying those little round balls and enjoying those. So that didn't work so much. I'm looking at Cadbury chocolate, which I really like. Cadbury is part of Mondelez, big corporation. But some of the chocolate is made in Toronto, which is 100-mile, or about 160 kilometers. So depending on where you're living and what you're thinking, that's where that is. The other things are bananas. I'm buying bananas. I want the banana. And I've been buying clementines. Now they're from Africa, I believe, or Morocco. So they're good. I haven't been able to find an equivalent to the G0 that I like. So I'm going to say for now that was kind of a fail. I haven't done enough research. I haven't found what I like. I have to figure that one out a little bit. So if you have any suggestions on that, let me know in the comments below. Other than that, dairy is easy to get 100-mile here. There's a lot of dairy produced, a lot of ice cream, butter, cheese, all of that I can get 100-mile fairly easily. The bread, I've made some of my own, and I've bought some. Some of it has been produced in Hamilton. Dempster's has a big factory here in Hamilton. So if I'm not baking my own, I am able to get bread that I like that is 100-mile for me. I'm still doing some research on flour. Most of I would say all the flour that I can buy that's of a reasonable price is milled here in Canada, if not in Ontario. P&H Milling is in Ontario. They have huge facility down Harbourfront in Hamilton. They have a mill in Cambridge as well. So there's lots of places for the bigger mills, but there's also a couple of smaller mills that are within the 100-mile that I'm looking at. So when I run out, because right now I still have 10 kgs of flour plus some in the other bag. So I've got lots of flour, lots of oatmeal. The eggs are fairly local. Yeah, everything has been going really well. So that's the food side of these things. Clothing, I'm not buying anything. I bought one shirt. I bought myself a new clergy shirt. I didn't feel I had the skills to make one. So I did purchase that, but I'm not about purchasing clothing. I did finish a pair of socks. Dun, da, da, da. Da, 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 da. So I have one more pair of warm socks to wear. I had to actually ditch a pair. That was so hard. But they had been mended so many times, there was just no redoing them. So they finally went out. But as far as clothing goes, other than maybe some undergarments, there's no clothing that I'm going to be purchasing. So in the 100 days, 100 mile, I'm good for that. So clothing, I'm looking at attending a fiber market in March here in Hamilton. I'm trying to think of what it's called. Just to see what others have. I'm looking at spindles. See, I have my favorite spindles, right? I do have my favorites. There's that one from the On Sound area. This one was from a maker who's now out west. I believe she's in Alberta, but I absolutely love this one. I'm looking for handcrafted knitting needles that might be made locally. So I'm doing some research on that. And that's going really well as my spinning. So I'm in the process of plying. I'm doing a chain ply, so it'll create a 3-ply yarn out of my BFL Merino blend from the local shepherd. And other than the fact I don't know what I'm going to do with it when I got it spun, but spinning is one of my hobbies. So I like to spin, and I will continue to do that. So what has worked? One of the bonuses of when I started this was that because of the economics and the current geopolitical stuff that's going on, where there's a huge push to buy Canadian, there's all sorts of information out there right now for me to look and say, okay, yeah, that is Canadian. Okay, where is it made? Right? So I buy meat products from Denninger's, which is a local grocer. They do their own butcher/meat processing here in Hamilton. So I can get meat that way. Other people will say, well, you can shop here, but this is American owned, and this is this, and this is that. And it's like, that's not really my focus here. Is supporting local. So if that means I'm going to the local Shoppers Drug Mart to pick up the one little thing I need, then I am supporting local in that I'm supporting the hiring, the staffing of the store. So I look at it in slightly different ways than I might have otherwise. But there are some things I need to have from the local stores that are part of a larger chain. And you know what? That's okay. That's okay. I need to give myself some grace and purchase what's good for me, right? And for my household, what we really need. The challenge is higher cost is definitely part of it, but it's not a huge part of it, right? So the ice cream that I bought, I'm going back to food, but I'm going to go back to ice cream, is processed and packaged outside of London. And that's definitely within the range. A Chapman's ice cream is outside of or on the edge of my range here. They substituted that one time when I ordered it. But there's also Shaw's ice cream, there's Kawartha Dairies, and there is Hewitt Dairy not far from here. So there's places you can go if you continue to look. So yes, it may take you a little bit more time. And I have found with shopping online that the major online grocers that I would shop with, say for instance, Walmart or Voila, which is part of Sobeys, are all putting a big section online of Canadian products. The Produce Express, where I have purchased from in the past, will say local on it, whether it's a frozen local, whatever, or a local product. More so now than before. So that's really kind of feeding into my whole process, which is kind of cool when you think about it. Unexpected lessons. It's really easy for me to fall into old habits and say, it doesn't matter. I need it, I'm going to buy it, without doing the research. And I want to move away from that. I want to be able to say, I've made an informed decision. This is what I'm buying. This is what's coming into the house, right? I think that still needs some work. I don't know what your thought is on that, but yeah, there you go. Excuse me, it happens when I talk, I get gassy. I take in more air than I'm letting out, I think. Excuse me. Excuse me. So I wonder what's next. Well, I think just continuing with that awareness of what does living 100 Mile look like for me. Again, that radius includes a big chunk of Lake Erie and a big chunk of Lake Ontario. So there's no population there. There's no stores, no whatever in that area. But I'm in the middle of southern Ontario, southwestern Ontario even, where if there's something I want, I can get it. It's just that simple and it's that easy. So before, when I tried this, I was up in northeastern, up the Ottawa Valley, and where we lived, we were, an hour away from everything. And finding those products wasn't as easy and it wasn't as simple, but it is now. So there's no excuse, right? There's no excuse for me running out the door to get one item or running out the door to get another item when it uses gas, right? I spent so much less on gas this month than I had prior. And it's because, well, first of all, we had the cold, so we weren't going out as much, but it was more about the fact that I wasn't shopping as much. We weren't driving all over the place to find things. And so moving forward, I want to continue with that. I want to monitor how much fuel we're using, how many trips we're taking, and what does that look like for us? What does that feel like? More walking, possibly, some of those things. So in closing today, I want you to think about, or I wonder if you've ever thought about what a local life would be for you. What would that look like for you from where you live? Do you live in an urban center, or do you live out in the country where, it's one trip a week or one trip a month to pick up your items? Do you live in a place where you can get things delivered easily at a good price, and you're knowing that it's not adding to the problem but helping with the situation? What would be the hardest thing for you? I know for me it's been the coffee and the chocolate. Those are the two things that I struggle with. Coffee and chocolate. But I'm not giving up either one. I'm not giving up either one. So I wonder what your push points are. What's the pushback? I'm going out for a meal, maybe. We went out for a meal today. We enjoyed it. It was our date for the week. Tomorrow, the kids are all off school, so it's not a good day to go out. And generally in Canada, we are encouraged not to shop tomorrow. It's a blackout day. So that'll be interesting. And if I do shop tomorrow, it'll be a local grocer or a local boutique shop or something, somewhere where there's not going to be a ton of little ones running around. Because that often happens. Like, it's not the day to go to Costco or to go to the mall or anything like that. But I wonder what your life, if lived totally locally, would look like. Leave your suggestions in the comments below. If you have anything that resonates with you in this video, let me know. As we move further into this, I have a month and a half left to go in the 100 days of the 100 Mile. I will start to focus more and more on the fiber projects, because that is who I am, right? Doll Can Create. I'm a spinner and I'm a knitter, and looking at supporting local is what I want to do and what I want to share with you when it comes to crafting, fiber arts, and just living that contented life that we all want to live. So if you like these kinds of videos, or if you're enjoying the information I'm trying to share with you here, you can like, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff. I'd love to hear from you. I'm also sharing everything on my blog, so it's dollcancreate.com. So you can go there. There's often a transcript of what the video was. And I will do a month-end newsletter type catch-up over there probably tomorrow, if not on Saturday on the 1st. But sign up, receive those updates right away as well. I'd love to have you follow along with me. Join me in this 100-mile journey, this 100-mile life that I'm creating in your little 100-mile part of the world. I hope you can find a blessing in today. You have been a blessing to me. God bless. Till next time. This is Doll from Doll Can Create. You can too. Bye for now.